Okay, so this is the first part of the video that's going to show you how to assemble your Legos, which is part of the assignment that looks like this. So this is part of the assignment from last year in CAD 1 when you had to just do the part studio of these parts and it looked like this. Excuse me. So what you're going to do first for the part studio is you're going to practice the use tool with the merge scope when you're extruding, and then also practice the Boolean subtract tool. So let's get started. This is the part studio, the starter file that yours is going to look like. And just to practice, last year you did add these studs to the top of each one of these parts, but just as a refresher, because it's been a long summer, we're going to add these studs to the top of the pieces because who wants Legos without the studs? That won't work. I'm going to turn off the parts on top just so that you can see that better. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is create a sketch up on this top plane. So there's our sketch, and now I'm actually going to hide those two parts because what I want to do is use the use tool to bring those circles up onto my current sketch plane. So if I click, this is the use tool, and it just basically projects geometry from existing parts up onto wherever your sketch plane is. So if I do that, you'll see there's now a black circle. But what I think really shows you that is when I do this. You'll see that this is now putting that circle up onto that sketch plane. So if I do it from this view, you're going to see how those get projected up onto our existing sketch plane. And I'm going to do this for every one of the circles. It's going to be on either the orange or the green piece. And so now there's our sketch, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn those parts back on and now use the extrude tool, which you should remember that one, and I'm going to pick this whole sketch, and now I'm going to say, rather than new, because I don't want all of these to be new, I want to add those studs to the existing orange and green part. So what I'm going to say is add, but now it's mad, right? It shows red. Anytime you see red in CAD, that means the program's mad at you. And it's saying, I don't know what you want me to add that to. That's because it needs me to say, I want you to add it to orange and to green. And now it's much happier. Now those studs are obviously too tall. If you remember back from CAD 1, which I'm guessing you don't remember that from the summer, the depth or the height of those studs is 1.7 millimeters. So I'm going to green check that, and now that looks great. I'm going to take a break and let you do that to all of the pieces except for this tile. The tile is one that's just a flat top, like I showed you in the assembly. This is what it's going to look like in the end. Actually, your assembly is going to have an extra little slope piece over here, but you don't have that right now, and we'll get to that in the assembly part. So far, all we've done is the use and the merge scope. Come back, and I'll show you the Boolean subtraction.